Hello and welcome to my lightning talk for OpenEd 20, based on the literature review for my Doctorate of Education thesis. I am researching how distance learners establish social presence on Twitter to build a community of inquiry. According to some experts, distance learning has existed for thousands of years, but within higher education, the OU is seen as a pioneer. Since the development of the internet, this has migrated towards online distance learning, which has seen a steady growth of providers, leading to a subsequent growth in research into how effective online distance learning can be and how to ensure students benefit from it. While the OU has currently over 168,000 students from countries around the world, there are an estimated 378,000 students registered in distance learning degree courses in the UK alone. In the US, over 1/3 of students study at least one online class as part of their university degree. With the temporary closure of school and university buildings due to COVID restrictions around the world, the number of students experiencing some form of distance learning has increased dramatically. Students naturally gravitate towards platforms that they are already familiar with, and Twitter, as an open platform, offers students a place to exchange knowledge regardless of their location. So starting off with the problem, distance learners often begin their studies with very different feelings of identity to full-time campus-based students who are generally more comfortable in their student identity and aren't combining multiple identities, such as employee, student, and/or carer. Distance learners have less of a student network and feel that they have less connection with their institutions, which all leads to higher dropout rates. Distance learning institutions have only 1/4 of the graduation rate of full-time institutions. While reasons for this can include open entry, transfers out, and life commitments, this badly affects the reputation of the institution, but more worryingly, has a high psychological effect on those students who have dropped out. It is essential to help students feel psychologically close to their institutions and each other while being physically distant, especially now. So can Twitter help with this? Some students may choose to use Twitter to reach out to others and build a support network. The platform is free to use and relatively easy to set up an account. Students can reach people they would struggle to meet otherwise due to geographic, financial, or time restrictions. However, while research has shown that distance learners appreciate the use of Twitter to interact with each other, this educational use of Twitter, particularly for distance learners, is often ignored. Most of the existing research relates to full-time students at conventional universities and analyses their use of social media alongside face-to-face lectures. I will be focusing my research on two aspects of the communication between OU distance learners on the Twitter platform, both the networks that OU students create and the discussions that occur around particular hashtags and keywords. I will now outline more about those two aspects. Social media platforms have emerged as places where people can communicate with anyone around the world. Users gradually build up a network of people they are interested in following and hearing what they have to say. The subsequent networks that people build for themselves on Twitter can be considered a type of online community. As this new form of community has developed, so too has the possibility of researching them using software programs that can now manage very large amounts of data. However, networks are rarely studied in Twitter educational research, particularly among students. What structure would distance learner networks have? Do they fall into any of these 6 established social media network categories? And what might this imply? Social media communication is also facilitated through the use of hashtags, allowing users to find posts related to a particular topic regardless of their existing network. Software programs allow the coding and analysis of posts using a particular hashtag within a set time frame, including sentiment and discourse analysis. I plan to analyse hashtags and keywords used by students, by distance learners. What is actually being said or tweeted by these distance learners? What do they discuss on Twitter? There is very limited existing research on this. Finally, what might the possible outcome for students be? Students who are active on social media are gradually building social presence, as stated within the Community of Inquiry model, originally developed by Garrison. Social presence is considered a key factor in effective online communication and learning. This can be tested using established criteria and measurement tools. Despite the software being easily available for large-scale network and hashtag analysis, nearly all existing educational research on Twitter use is based on questionnaire and interview results, or in a few cases, the analysis of compulsory Twitter activities. Using questionnaire and interview data has the risk of students discussing what they think they say online rather than analysing what they actually say. My research focuses on filling those gaps by coding the text used in tweets to see if this falls under the social presence indicators within the Community of Inquiry model. So what are the benefits to higher education of this research? Current COVID restrictions are leading to more distance learning and use of social media. Alongside that is a growing importance for students to build their social presence for future job roles and making connections. Higher education institutions need to know how their students are building support networks and how best to interact with and facilitate those. If you would like to chat with me about my research, please feel free to contact me via Twitter or my email address. Both of these are shown at the bottom of the slide. Thank you for listening.